Broadcasting live from the Fez ravaged bayous of Louisiana. It's your boy. How's everybody doing this evening? Have you had a good week? Oh, I it I want to say hi first to Kaiju Kitty, who was foist, and of course Rowdy Riles, who I want to go ahead and say got a special 2-part episode on a very special I don't after school special. Next week, the 25th, over on Rowdy's channel, starting. I'm going to be over there chatting about toys and trying to keep up with Rowdy's Jersey Maniac level knowledge of Marvel Legends and just talking about things, getting real with some folk, and then we're going to bring that over. We're still working out some of the deets, but bringing that over to my channel and carrying it on through the night. So, here we go on a very important after school special, co-starring Maximilian Tucker. Oh, listen, I'm going to start off on a positive note, and I want to thank the many positive messages and DMs that I received over the last week. It is wonderful to know that there's still, people out there who believe in hope and hope over hate. And it's wonderful to hear because, when you put yourself out there, you open yourself up to, people's opinions. And boy, howdy, did I get some people's opinions. And I would talk to you about those people, but I've already forgotten them. So, so we're going to talk about some things. We got, I'm getting a tattoo tonight. What? Max is getting a tattoo tonight? Yep. Live on the air. Stay with us, folks. Max is getting a tattoo tonight. But first, I want to talk about this company, 52 Toys. They make it's what's called beast boxes, battle boxes, beast box, yeah. That and I mean I've this is day 700 of Max showing off his daughter's toys. And I mean, these things are fantastic. They just and they transform down into just a 2-inch by 2-inch box, and there's 4 of them in this set. These are the 2 white ones, and I think this one would be a Doberman. This one should be like a boxer. Then you've got the 2 red ones, and I'm not sure. This one's kind of similar to the Doberman, but it's different. And then you've got the little terrier, uh, looks like a little Frenchie, and they all four of them combine to form this little velociraptor looking thing. But my kids spent an hour putting it together, and it looked really bad. And I spent about an hour dismembering it. So um, she's probably not talking to me for a little bit because she worked really hard on putting that thing together. But it was so bad, I was like, I can't show my people that. Um, but it's yeah, Max has all the goodies. My kids got all the goodies. I just she just lets me borrow them sometime. Um, it where what? What? Oh, before? Oh, on Rowdy's channel, and then over here on my channel. It'll be easy to find. So we are broadcasting tonight on YouTube and my personal Facebook page, which I said I was not going to do, but um, I did it anyway because I'm a grown up and I do what I want. Where am I getting that tattoo? Neck and forearm and forearms. Yeah, those are the locations. So it oh, that's what you meant by where. I'm getting I'm getting a kaiju tramp stamp. That's what I'm getting. And listen, we don't call him as a 30-year veteran of retired tattooer. I can tell you now, through professional knowledge, we don't call them tramp stamps anymore. They are ass hats, little hats for your ass. So now you know. Knowing is half the battle, folks, and the other half is violence. So, but yeah, listen, I mean, these, she also got the Lotus, which is, you know, fantastic. She's got a number of other ones, a number of the Alien sets. They had three of them. Well, you know what? Listen, we have an active tattooer in the house, Daryl Becker from Old 66 Tattoo in Joplin, Missouri, on the historical Route 66. So if he says they're called targets, then that's the current term, folks. I am a retiree. I'm out of those circles. So there you go. If you're ever in the Joplin, Missouri area, I cannot highly recommend this man. I love him. He is my brother. And so there you go. Now you know where to go when you're there. I miss you, bud. So we got I got a few more things in, and first and foremost, any I know a lot of people will throw out Mystic Legions as a toy maker that makes a really good polar bear, but I am just gonna tell you right now that nobody makes animal toys like like Hasbro. I got that and little police dog. Yeah, because you need law and order, and I got some weird things to say about this figure. And first and foremost, I don't know why it comes with a knife when there's no place to put that. And why would you put a flashlight on his back and not have that as an accessory? And yes, kaiju, that bear, 100% worth it. The snake eyes, it's another snake eyes. Um, but um, I needed my Mass Effect things, for those. But yeah, that polar bear, 100% worth the price of admission. I'm sure a lot of those are going to be, dropping in price and coming down, so and not too hard to find. I don't know. I mean, the last time Mass Effect, Hasbro did Mass Effect, I think with the maybe 30th anniversary, something like that. Um, I don't know. I don't think they were too hard to find, but classified kind of throws you for a little loop one way or the other. So, um, welcome, Ronnie. Nice to see our down under friends represented in chat. But yeah, that polar bear, perfect. This guy, I dude, that flashlight just pisses me off to no end. This has been one of my major criticisms about GI Joe classified figures from moment one. Why are you going to go this scale and then have accessories that you can't use, like putting, with Monkey Wrench? You got that. This is, by the way, this is my Daryl Becker figure right here. They look exactly alike, including the six pack. More tattoos, but we got a brand new tooling for this Bandolero. We know, Hasbro, that you can create hand grenades that aren't connected to anything. Freestanding hand grenades. So why make some that don't come off? It's I mean, I understand the reasons for it. I get it. I don't like it. Um, each one of those grenades should be separate. That is less than a penny in tooling. Less than a penny. Quit putting shit on these figures that I can't play with. That it makes no sense. So no sense. Hey Max was subbed to your channel under our man channel, Rough Shot Stocks, but now I'm subbed here. Hey, well, welcome, bud. It's good to have you back. And Frank, it's good to see you too. But it's but this flashlight, I know the only flashlights we've gotten in classified has been the little Vietnam era L flat. I can't remember what they're called. I know what they're called, but it's totally out of my head. The flashlights that we got for Outback, his backpack, and Desert Rat, not Desert Rat. Sorry, Tony. For Tunnel Rat, and yeah, that's great. It's the perfect idea, and we know you can make a flashlight. So why would you put just some cylinder of metal on some figure's ass? I don't even care. I don't even need, the little front of it to be colored. Just make a flashlight, especially when you've got a law enforcement figure, because every time you see, it's standard practices. If you don't have a light on your gun and you've got it drawn, you've got the light out, following where you're shooting so you can see that. So them having a big old Streamlight flashlight on his ass and not having it, they just came up with a whole new system with all these little mushroom, pieces that pop in there. And so you could change all the gear and move it around. And then you even put it on the dog, on all his vestments. You put all that stuff on the dog, not a single piece for you to be able to, attach that. There's no attachments other than the headgear for that dog, for the canine. And just, I guess you got to go to Ross and buy, a half dozen of the $9 infantry trooper anniversary figures, just so you can get all the stuff to put on the dog. But and you still ain't getting a flashlight. So hopefully when all the big Valaverse 10 comes out, please, Bobby Vala, can we get a flashlight? Just a, StreamYard, Streamlight, something. I'm not going to stop about this damn flashlight shit. Yeah. Maglite is a home defense weapon. Listen, Maglites have a lot of purpose, especially, God, you get those old, was it the old 6-cell? Those things were. I remember as a kid, the first place where I was growing up, there was a Napa around the corner, and they were the first place in my BFE town that sold Maglites, and they had the little 2 AA cell light, and I mean, it was just, at the time, that shit was so bright. Never seen a flashlight like that, and I wanted one, and my parents are just like, buy, you know what? You need a Star Wars toy? You need G.I. Joe? Yeah, we got you, kid. You want a Maglite? You need to go mow some lawns that summer. And so I think that's what I did. I did something, I probably stole $20 out of my mom's purse, but because I was a little shithead like that. But I got up enough money, and then the minute I got it, something happened, and they wouldn't give me a ride the 3 miles up the road to go get it. So I had to go walk over there, get my flashlight, and then walk back. And but I got that Maglite. God, I loved it. Love that Maglite. Now I've got a little light that I got a little light the size of my pinky finger that is equivalent to about 100 of those Maglites. And it cost $20. What a time to be alive, people. How can anybody have hate in the world when you can get $20 flashlights? That's it. Flashlights are love, people. Flashlights are love. Derek, it's good to see you too, bud. Robert Diaz, Bobby won't give us flashlights for action figures. He will make my console to flashlight. Damn, Bobby. No. My wife says TMI. if I don't get a 1/18 scale working flashlight with Valiverse, I'll scream until I get it. You know what? I'm with that. I will join that campaign. I will sign that petition. Just a flashlight. I'm gonna make one. I think I've got a whole. I've got next week's episode. I had other plans, but sorry, Rowdy. I'm building flashlights for 120. 112 scale action figures next week. We're just gotta put it off, man. This is what's important in the world. Flashlight, fake rubber flashlights for my action figures. I don't even think, I've got all the stuff from Super Action stuff. I don't even think they have a flashlight. I'm looking. We got Vomit. There's Booger in there. There's a COVID mask. There's a nail gun. Fireballs, eyes popping. Nope. There is no, I can confirm Super Action stuff does not make flashlights. So see, find a need, fill a need. Hasbro, Valiverse, Mattel. I ain't even talking to Todd because, oh, I wasn't ever. I'm ashamed. I'm sorry. I'm about to let my chat down. I never was big into X-File. Aside from teenage lust over Gillian Anderson. And maybe some curiosity over David Duchovny. He was a good looking fella. Anyway, no. But the figures were really cool. A lot of those X-File figures were really cool figures, and they had really neat accessories because you had like one of the first times I ever remember seeing outside of some, creature creation, toy that that had heating elements that no kid should have. A lot of those X-File toys had really neat things attached. Like there was a stoke. It was like a crate that had an alien inside of it, had see-through, a lot of good deco. It was really neat stuff. I don't remember the flashlights, but I'm gonna check into those, see if I can find something. And Stu, always welcome, sir. That's right. They did have a badge too that was I wanted to believe that I would believe. I wanted to believe that Gillian Anderson was gonna show more ass, but that's that's where my teenage mind was. I'll check into that and see, but I think not next week. Next week I've got it, but I've got some plastic that I think I can show everybody how to make some 1/12 scale flashlights. Pretty easy. So I've got the plastic to do it, and I've got plenty of glue left over from the Hasbro guys at DFW, and I promise you, about 5 minutes into that episode, I'm liable to say anything. So that is definitely going to be something to tune into. Dear gods. So On with more action figures. So, uh, the Snake Eyes version 2, he's out. I I don't really know what to say on this figure. Um, it's not bad. It's not a bad figure. Again, more accessories that molded in that you can't friggin' use. So, that is what it is. I get it at that scale, it's fine. Um, it just I don't know. I was kind of hoping that maybe it'd be more. Of course, I just noticed that it's got some kanji on the forearm, on both the forearms. I wonder if that says Arashikage. I don't know what that would say, but I may have to get a Google Translate and see if I can figure it out. It says chicken fried. It says what? It says fried shrimp. That's what. That's what it says. So, and of course, this right here, which I've told the story before about why this figure means so much to me. I was with my grandmother Doris, and she was buying me a laser tag vest. Because at one time you could get this big silver strap on vest and put your laser tag thing in the middle of it. And I wanted this too. And she was like, "You had to pick one." I was like, "Well, I gotta have that vest, but I gotta have this battle armor Cobra Commander. I mean, never see one again." And which was accurate. That was the only time I ever, as a kid, original G1 GI Joe, is the only time I ever seen a battle armored Cobra Commander out in the wild. Um, and So I tried to drop that Cobra Commander down into the laser tag box, and apparently, instead of stopping me in the aisle and say, "Hey, little kid, I saw you do that. Can you not do that? Please don't do that. Go on about your day, little kid." You know, they waited until I went to checkout and made some huge drama about pulling this out. And so I was busted immediately. It did not. And then not only was I busted, but nobody could swing a leather belt like my grandma Doris. So I was double busted. Yeah. Yeah. Jack Black movies don't do much for me. But Robert, at least that's the only thing that came out. I don't know. Listen, I can you have an Anaconda movie without J Lo? Is that? I'm pretty sure there's federal code. We've codified that at this point. You got to have, either Ice T, Ice Cube, or J Lo. One of those three people got, or all three. There you go. Um. So, thank you, lovely assistant. See, Ruff knows what's up. Got to get them both. Mm, you know what, Stu? Yeah. Mm-hmm. I I'm with you 100% on that one. So, well, let's see what I want to get caught. Apparently, the kanji on Old Maid's arm translates to a long life or long longevity or something like that. That seems like a missed opportunity. I'm trying to remember. That was kind of a run in the Hama comic books where it was just so ninja heavy on everything. Um, it I was starting to kind of lose interest in the original comic book line. Um, which, I will say this: did Deke have version 2 Snake Eyes in it, or was that just a comic book character? I don't remember. I wasn't big into a lot of the Deke cartoons. One of these days, I'm gonna just suck it up, sit down, and watch them all past the, But if that's strictly a comic book version of Snake Eyes, then I applaud that release, because doing a strictly comic book GI Joe Classified has been kind of a rare thing. It's not something that we've gotten them, but it's not their main deal. So, oh man, I'm looking for, and the Primitive War is definitely something that I am looking forward to. That is, I really hope it lives up to the idea that I've got, the trailer that they've put out for it. It's everything I want. It's an action military movie, which I love, and dinosaurs. Oh, yeah, dinosaurs. Oh, I almost forgot. Hold on one second. Yeah, that's Stegosaurus. Because, Hammond collection, that sorry, anyway, back to the topic at hand. So Primitive War is something I am so looking forward to. It's that's going to be that's going to be a good movie. I hope it is. It's How do you end a movie like that? So let's see. Yeah, yeah, had the two Chinese I don't, were they Chinese? Yeah, had the two blades molded on his chest. Um yeah, we've probably got that's probably next year. We'll probably get about 3 versions of that. So at yeah, version 3. Yeah, you're right. I got arthritis in the head, Stu. You're okay. So please, please. That's yeah. Everybody dies, dinos win. That's or I want to counter. They join forces and we get dino warriors or dino hunters, it just Vietnam, Korean War era troops, mounting up a big brontosaurus as an assault vehicle. Yes, please, please give me that. Um, Especially on a World War II level, because I would pay so much money to just watch dinosaurs crushing Nazis. So I mean, it's just there's so many ways. Yeah, yeah, there it is. Dino Warriors with blood. That Skynet meets Jurassic Park. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Tammy and the T-Rex is I don't know that one, but I will make sure that before the night's over, I find out about it. So, well, I guess I just did find out about it, but I will. You had me at gore caked film. That's all you got to tell me. So I want I want to be shocked again. You know, like I was when I was a kid watching Commander USA and Lefty and Ron Gilbert Godfrey and Rhonda up all night and all that, and just finding some hotel hell or um, Cannibal Island or just the Green Inferno, just all the old gore exploitation films that just today you just don't get. So that's yeah, that's what I need. I need that guilty pleasure that especially seeing at hey Derek, but it's good to see you, man. Welcome to just welcome. Oh man, Denise Richards? What? Like pre-crazy Denise Richards? Well, is there such thing? Maybe. Yeah, that's fine. And Paul Walker, mid, but I'll watch him. Uh, everybody says like I don't watch those Fast and Furious movies. They're just silly. You watch them. You watch them. You watch them. How am I doing? Oh, I guess I should tell everybody. So I got a minor surgery tomorrow, which for me, any minor surgery is a major fucking surgery. Um, I've had over the last month or so, I when I first started having like when we first identified that I was having seizures, um, we don't know, we still don't know why. Is it just that's just what's going to happen? Natural order. The hand of Zeus came down and rendered judgment. It who knows? Yeah, too much Hasbro plastic over the years, and then penises. My balls are full of microplastics. Yeah, who knows? I'm sure they're all in my brain too. And I don't even want to get started on how much Teflon's floating around up there. So, but I got a tooth infection and I started having really, really bad seizures over the last month. And so tomorrow I got to get a tooth pulled, and it's an old root canal. It's been shattered since I was like 14. They're just finally, getting the rest of it gone. So, nobody in my family has good teeth. It just, I brush and floss every day, but I still, look like I, smoke meth. So that, yeah. Aside from the one, expensive veneer that I've got that's shattered, anyway. So talking about teeth is disgusting. So, but getting this tooth pulled tomorrow is we think maybe these seizures might have something to do with my teeth. So we're gonna see. So that's it. Tomorrow, big surgery and some probably about a week of recovery. We'll see how it goes. So, Kevin, man, it's good to see you, bud. It's been too long, man. Welcome. That It's I listen, everybody who is commenting on Facebook right now, I don't have a way to directly comment back on that page. So you just gotta wait for me to say hi on the big screen. So here we are. But Kevin, it's good to see you. I hope you're doing well. Another great tattooer. If you're out in the Joplin area, find out wherever Kevin's at and uh go give him some money. So there you go. You're getting so much tattoo stuff tonight, which brings me. I want to um, get to this. So I am getting a tattoo tonight. Let me to rephrase. Little me is getting a tattoo tonight. So I got Mark II Designs did these great 3D scans of my head at Dallas Fort Worth, the action figure convention, and see, even even Bobby puts little flashlights on their ass that you can't use. So the betrayal, no, no, look, he's got no tattoos. I'm going to draw all of my tattoos on this figure tonight. So I've got the tools, I've got the time, and god damn it, I've got the ability. So I am getting a tattoo tonight. I am tattooing myself, which normally, within context, is not something I recommend at all in any way, shape, or form. So it that's right. Yeah. Shrunk it right down. And it's still a big old fucking head. But yeah, so I'm going to put all of my tattoos on this figure tonight. And God damn, that waist is so I'm so jiggly, like a little bobblehead. And I'm sorry, Kaiju Kitty. Were you looking forward to you want me to get out? I've still got my um still got all my tattoo equipment. The problem is I can't use any of it because the minute I pick it up, about 30 minutes into that, the vibration from holding it sends me into a blackout seizure. And nobody wants to see my fat ass fall on the floor and you know, it's bad. I've done it in front of one client. Nobody wants to see that. I'm sorry. I hope I didn't disappoint anybody tonight. He says in his totally believable tone, but I mean, I'm pretty close, minus the Beverly Hill, because you know, I don't have any business in California, none whatsoever. At any voice acting that I do, I can email them any audio files, and it works out just fine. I do not need to be in studio for anything that I do. So at I got the last time I got, and I was just in California. It you know the road going to California, you take I-20 all the way, and as long as you don't get towards Thousand Needles and get stopped for 8 hours because of a dust storm, it's fantastic. Um, but no, they tore down People's Park in Berkeley. No, I don't got any reason to go back to California. So that but some of the tools I'm going to be using tonight, the Copic. I actually need to test this. I should have probably done that already. I'm going to do, while we're sitting here chatting, I'm going to do a little test. And see if so I got to remember what's on what hand. Oh yeah. So my knuckles are supposed to say null and void, but 3 tattooers have tried to tattoo them, and they stay about a week, and then they disappear. So we're gonna put null and void on my knuckles, and we will BS for a little bit. And I think, well, get me out of the shot. We'll see if we'll check back on those in about 5 minutes and see how it dries. I'm sure that anything I do tonight, I'm going to have to put some sealer on, but the Copic is usually really good if you let it dry about stain. Because I can tell you one thing that it is not good at is if it smudges. HGC, it's good to see you, bud. Hello to you too. Always pleasure to have you. I'm digging that Sentinel. that well, your avatar is that the old Toy Biz one? Oh, that thing is scary. Or is that the popcorn bucket? I don't even know, man. Um, but we're gonna let that dry for just a minute, and see how it does. If it doesn't dry, then I've got to look into a couple other markers that I have that are, I mean, these multi-liners are pretty permanent, but as far as how permanent they are going up against Bobby Vala plastic, that's going to be a test. And if not, then I've got some other markers that I've got to dig out that we will just have to see. Yep, Hold Fast was an old sailor's. That was very popular sailor tattoo. You also had some of the other sailor tattoos. Was it was considered good luck to have a pig and chicken tattooed on your feet. And the reason behind that in tattoo lore was that pigs and chickens didn't sink if a boat went down because they were typically crated animals, wooden crates. So they would float. So the sailor, being the simple minded person that he was, because he got conscripted into, you know, being on a boat. And so he says, okay, in my mind, pigs and chickens float if the ship goes down. So I want to make sure that the thing that is closest to Davy Jones has a pig and chicken on it, so I too will float. Um, Nautical stars were something that I believe you got if you crossed a certain line. There was shellback. If you get a shelled turtle, means that you're a shellback, that you've crossed the equator. Um, God, you'd be surprised at a lot of tattoo designs that people they don't. Symbolism in tattooing is something that I was always big into. It's one of the main ways that I talk people out of getting some of the dumbest shit. Um, Symbolism is, what separates man from beast, and that's everything to humans is symbolism. What does that mean? Um, you do the letter A. What does that mean? It's a symbol that So in tattooing, symbolism is a lot like if you see somebody with a tattoo that has brass knuckles and a straight razor and a slapjack. um, it was that symbolized. You usually see a banner that says "Love thy neighbor," because you tattoo weapons on you if you are a man of peace. Um, and I mean, symbolism means it's whatever. Sometimes it just means that don't talk shit to the wrong person. But um, tattoo symbolism is, I mean, holy God, I got a $50,000 in a tattoo library over there that just full of books about tattoos and tattoo symbolism and what shit means. And I probably should have brought a few of those out today, but eh, it's over there. It's far. I'm tired. But it's like null and void. You know what that means? It means that those were the only two four-letter words that I could think of that wouldn't get me in trouble with the wife, who I believe told me that if I got my knuckles tattooed, she was throwing me out of the house. And I got them tattooed that night. But yeah. So I don't know who else did this, but so my rattler, I actually pulled out all the, so as long as we're talking about shit about toys that pisses us off. So I actually pulled out some of the stickers and put them on my rattler uh, the other day. And I was mad and having fun at the same damn time. So, but anyway, yeah, but we can get to that later. But yeah, it's, well, let's see. Um, I've got little snake and dagger and a heart with a little blonde, blue-eyed girl, and that's my something I got for my daughter because she is a snicky little snack, and so this one is actually is hilarious. Here, let me turn the overhead on, and I'll give you a better show. This is a pretty famous tattoo. Um, There we go. All right. Now we're cooking with fire. So this tattoo right here, I know it's kind of hard to see, was done on the Halloween of the first year that Oklahoma legalized tattooing, because a lot of people don't know this. Oklahoma was the last state in the union to legalize tattooing, because apparently sometime back in the 60s, some amateur piece of shit tattooed a senator's daughter, and the hepatitis C that ensued um, got tattooing made illegal for a number of years. So this was actually on CNN, and it's a big dripping penis, cock and balls. So we did these little skulls that I drew up, and this little piece of shit, I think it Tyler Clown, something like that. I don't know. Um, all tattooers hate each other, but so he's given me this tattoo while we're getting interviewed by the local news, and then picked up and carried over on CNN. And I can't even be mad at him for tattooing a cock and balls on my arm, uh, because we got it on national TV, and nobody knows that there's a big cock and balls on all the local news networks and CNN. And so that yeah, that was fantastic. I can't even be mad. It's actually one of my favorite tattoos. Just the fact that, you know, there's all these normies going, "Oh, it's so wonderful that you just got you tattooing's illegal now in Oklahoma, and all you tattooers are just doing all this fantastic art. What are you getting there, sir? Oh, it's a skull for Halloween. That's wonderful. I love that. Is that a big jizz dripping cock coming out of its head? It is wonderful. Let's put this on national television." I loved it. It was fantastic. Got him. Oh, and you know what? And I wasn't made part of the joke until afterwards. So, I wasn't in on it. Wasn't something I helped plan. Um, I hated the asshole who was giving me the tattoo. There was nobody else to get the tattoo and make us little shitheads look cool. So, and we hated each other, and he's a little thieving bastard. So, it's, I ain't really too worried about it. And, but, he did that because he was just so mad at me because I was getting attention. They were talking to me and not him. And honestly, you ever heard this idiot talk for more than 5 minutes, you wouldn't want to talk to him either. And the news crews realized that. So I'm talking. He's mad that I'm the one, you know, getting interviewed, and he's doing the tattoo. And so he puts this big cock and balls on my forearm. I think out of all my tattoos, that's probably the one after I'm gone, I'm going to have cut off and framed. That it's tattoo history, man. That is the first legal tattoo broadcast on television in all of Oklahoma. And man, I'm going to tell you the shit we went through as tattooers in Oklahoma. I was arrested. Many of my friends and peers were arrested. Some of it got it along. I just, bailed out after 30 minutes. Some of them spent months in jail over that before we finally were just like, this is going to happen, regulate it, or we're going to keep going to jail because, three hots and a cot, baby. We don't give a fuck. At one time in Oklahoma, it was punishable by up to 5 years in prison, not jail, 5 years in prison and $10,000 per piece of equipment. That means if I had a box ordered from a supply chain of tattoo needles, they typically come in a box of 50. That would have meant no, it's 50 times 10,000, that's $500,000. No, I don't math. Anyway, so that's $10,000 per needle. So yeah, no. Holy crap! I don't know why I can't. Yeah, it's a lot. Thanks, Stu. 4chan successfully got a certain bear mascot added to the. Oh dear gods! I don't. Oh, that I don't know how I feel about that one. I applaud the troll job. I I denounce the anyway, so I had a friend of mine who owned a multi-million dollar construction company, and he tattooed, as a lot of people did in Oklahoma during the prohibition, um, out of private studios. And he tattooed a little heart on his daughter for her 18th birthday. It didn't advertise that he did it, didn't sell it. It was only for friends and family. And he was really good tattooer. Um, he'd learned from a guy up north somewhere. I don't remember all his history, but his daughter's friend was the daughter of the local sheriff, who did not like him, found the tattoo, raided his house, arrested him. He did 3 years in prison. And I think $260,000 in fines. And by the time he got out of prison, he'd lost his company, lost over a handful of tattoo equipments, couple machines, power supply, few inks. He didn't have a lot. And yeah, so I myself almost, I put in a order for some equipment, and when the UPS driver went to drop it off, he told me, he says, don't sign for this. He says, there's you know, 2 state troopers around the corner, and the minute you sign this, they're coming to arrest you. And I was like, I don't know you. This is my purse. And so yeah. Brown kept me out of prison. So that was, that's tattoo. Listen, I can tell you tattoo stories, some good, some really, really, really bad shit. And that's all right. Let's see. Well, it looks like it's stain, but it's definitely something that will smear. Now, I think we're going to be good. All right. Oh, where's my... There we go. Let's take some of this stuff off. Turn over your sidearm, sir. Listen, if you ever get a chance to get a head scan done by Mark II Designs, I mean, and he painted this. This wasn't me. I got another one that this is the unpainted that I'm probably going to do. I've got to add some green in the ears for my earplugs, but he even got the fez just 100%. So all right, let's get these arms. I've had the air conditioner up, so plastic is... All right. Now I just got to remember which arm. Right? Trust me, Stu, it's weird for me too. Oh, okay. I guess the best thing to do is, and I don't have too much to get done. Let's see. What I need to do is so these are all my multi-liners. I use them quite a bit. And I need to... I think the 0.5 is probably what I'm going to use. At 0.7, it's not bad, and given the small space that we're going to be on, I don't think it would really do too bad, but it might be a little too thick. And I've got... Now this is the 0.05, and it does just a really, really tiny line, but I think I need a new ink cartridge for it, because I think this one is just leaking everywhere. Let's see if I can get it to work. Nope. All right, 0.5 it is. I need to put... And I also need... Excuse me 1 second. Okay, I guess I'm going to go get it myself. I got to go get some alcohol wipes. I'll be right back. These are something you definitely want to have if you ever try to do this yourself. One, you need to use it to make sure that you get any stains off your hands, because if you smear it, then it it ain't coming off, especially if it dries. Now you've got a little bit of a bell curve with this, because if you catch it before it completely dries, you can usually wipe it off with alcohol. And but I've got a feeling, and I've seen this before. Once it dries, it is definitely not going anywhere. Now, another thing that I need are my magnifiers. Yeah. Well, if I didn't look old before. Well, and the other thing is too is, on this scale, if you get, like if you look at the tattoo work on that they do for a lot of action figures, like Monkey Wrench here and stuff like that, they're clean and crisp, and and that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But real tattoos age, the lines get thicker, and we're going for some realism here. All right. I've got, well, I don't know how to get a good shot with this, everybody. So just kind of bear with it. I'm not looking for perfect. Recreation. Just just a good representation. That's good enough for me. And of course, I've got a little Gandalf rune on my thumb webbing. So we're going to get that in there. Which camera do you guys want? Do you guys want to see me attempt this with? I don't know if you're really going to be able to see it too much, or would you rather just look at the top of my head and hear me talk? So, what is this? A max for ants? I've got some color that I can do with. I've got a few permanent markers where I can do a few colors. I think now we're going to have to turn this over to the back of my forearm, and that's going to be my eagle. And it's great having a camera right here so I can. So when I screw this up, everybody can join in the fun. You can get some pretty good details on this. Let's see. I think I got. Yeah, that's good enough. And you gotta be careful. See, it's making a decision where you've got little breaks right here, and it's hard to get a lot of the. See, I should have got simpler tattoos. You get little chicken and pigs on your feet. Those are easy to draw. So get my little CNN skull in there. Oh, I hate that elbow break. That just ruins any kind of chance of getting. And this is where you got to be careful. Let's see, I got underarm stuff to do right here, but if I grab this and I turn it, I'm going to smear it. And that will be bad, okay? Hey, listen, no, Stu, I appreciate your compliment. Thank you, sir. This is a horrible tragedy compared to my skills doing micro stuff. When I used to do Warhammer miniatures and would do all the little um, purity seals and and I do all the writing and the books and stuff like that. It this is a this is a horrible example. Oh, another thing that I want to do too was this has got British flag and stuff right here. I'm gonna go ahead and black these out because I am, despite some of my adventures, I am not British. So I am going to get something to put on that. But in the meantime, I want to just cover that up. Maybe we'll just give it just a second, let it dry. I know at some point I am going to smear this shit everywhere, and you're going to see me cuss and scream like nobody's business. I think it should be okay on the counter. All right. I've got my Carpenter Moses koi fish. And maybe I will just simplify it. I'm not even trying, and seriously, Stu, if I wanted to get to a level of detail that really like now you take the desert rat figure that they've got all of Tony Roberts tattoos, all up um on his arm, and they look fantastic. And you've got some great detail in there. The deco that they did, that if I was trying for that level of stuff, I would I would have this arm totally dismounted. I'd have it in a, I but I'm not looking for all that. I want to keep it pretty simple, pretty quick. I don't want to get crazy with it. Um, because I know the minute I do, it's you're talking about something that I would work months on. I would probably paint that entire arm. I'd do it right. This this is something that I just want. It's more of an homage. But it gives you something to do. I mean, these little multi-liners, if you're looking for something, pretty quick, I'm looking for 1/12 scale detail, not trying to do I'm not trying to get it crazy. Um, I'm capable of that. If some people want to see that, then uh, we can figure that out. But this is just because these multi-liners are totally capable of it. See, and then I got, a huge damn portrait over here. 15-year-old portrait of Sailor Jerry. And there is no way I'm getting that on this. It's just, I might as well just do a big black blob. Um, so we're just gonna do some stipple work in there and make it look like something. It's kind of funny too. I've got, oh, that's the eagle. So not many people know that I have a suicide note tattooed on my other forearm. And that's a interesting story. It says don't blame May. And there was it's an old it's my carny tattoo because I'm basically just a retired carny. And don't blame May was the suicide note of a carnival strongman, or not strongman, tall man. I think the skinny man or something like that. So he was in love with a tattooed lady named May Vandermark, and I guess he was really in love with her. But she did not share those feelings. And I guess he went and took care of that and unalived the situation. And his last words to anybody on the planet was, "Don't blame May." So I don't know why I got that tattooed on me. Um, I really like May Vandermark was, really. Oh, I smudged something. I can tell. Mm. So yeah, if you need an idea for a tattoo, suicide letters are always a good option. Get my rose, and now I've just got to figure out how to get my hammer. And that is going to be interesting. Max, why do you have a ball peen hammer tattooed on your arm? Well, I will tell you why I have. Okay, we're going to let that dry and I'll BS for a little bit. So, my scratcher's bane, and I have a ball peen hammer. So, there's a lot of ball peen hammer stories that are in the tattoo world. Um, one of the most predominant was a man named Bowery Stan, and I don't remember if it was somebody tried to rob him one day, or given how Stan was often quick to anger, somebody might have just said something to piss him the fuck off. But anyway, he tattooed out of the Bowery in New York, and before it was all boutiques and Starbucks and shit like that. And he pulled out a ball peen hammer and bonked somebody on the head. And I believe he finished their tattoo. But what a ball peen hammer means for me is there was a tattooer that, I'm very much against amateurs taking up the craft. It's, if you're not trained, anybody can do a tattoo, and it is subjective as to whether or not is what they get is a good tattoo. But amateurs tattooing out of their house, um, a lot of times it's not a safe, clean place to get tattooed. So don't do it. Go see a professional. Um, yes, it's not cheap. Um, but it's worth it, and it saves you money in the long run. But anyway, that another argument. So anyway, what we call amateurs in tattoos, we call scratchers, because usually they just scratch at it, you know. And over the years, I've spoken out. I've advocated for, a lot of things in the tattoo world, often upon deaf ears. Um, but do it right or don't do it, and get training. Um, as with anything, it's I don't have much time for amateur electricians either. So there was a tattooer out of Georgia, uh, good, clean, fun tattoo, and he painted up a poster that just had this horribly deformed hand with a ball peen hammer behind it, and it said "broke hands can't tattoo," which was just how you kind of took care of business back in the rowdy days. Sorry, rowdy. Um, and when somebody was doing something they shouldn't, kind of like, when you got caught cheating at gambling, and they'd, you left or right-handed, keep the money, and you right-handed, well, keep the money, and I'm gonna bash this ball peen hammer through your hand and on your left and or your right. And anyway, but the guy who mentored me um, never got rid of his artwork, and this is my ball peen hammer story, and it is for I trigger warning. It is a bit on the violent side, so but it is also, you know, 30 years ago too. So um different times, and I was a different person. Um Linus, the guy who taught me to tattoo, uh, he never got rid of artwork. Once a year, he'd take it out to the back alley and he'd burn it in a bin. And one year he got lazy. I don't remember. It was a hot summer, and he was just like, just take it out back, throw it in the bin. I don't give a shit. Done. Well, this little scratcher kid from around the neighborhood, you know, we knew he was tattooing in the flat houses, you know, next block over. We didn't know he was digging through our trash until we found out he was digging through our trash. And some guy come in to the shop and was like, "You got to fix this." "Why do I got to fix it?" "Well, it's your artwork." And Linus looked at it and was like, and it was in fact a tattoo that he'd drawn up about a month before uh, for a friend of his, and somebody dug the design out of our trash can and reused it at his house. Linus knew immediately who it was. Well, the same kid used to come into the shop every couple of weeks and try to buy ink. And Linus used to, you know, same thing he'd do to anybody. He'd take a mason jar full of shit, I'm not even going to tell you what, and he'd put just enough black in it to, you know, make sure that it would fall out and hopefully not your arm fall off. Um, and he'd sell it to him for cheap. You know, "Oh yeah, you need a mason jar of my fresh ink? Yeah, I just made up a batch. You know, just hang out for just a second. Let me get you some." And he'd drop a couple things of soldering flux and some, you know, probably a bottle of piss that was dyed just enough black that it looked, you know, black. And "Oh yeah, it's some of my best ink yet. Yes, yeah, go on, tattoo all your friends." And so this kid come in, and Linus knew that it was the same kid who'd done this tattoo. And he come in, Linus, you got any of that ink? I need a jar. And Linus was like, yeah, I got it right here. And he reaches under this counter and pulls out this ball peen hammer and brings it down on his hand. And I swear it went that he used the round end, swear it went through the middle of his hand and down through the bottom and then back out. And it didn't, but that's what it seemed like at the time. And it sure broke the glass on the showcase underneath. And this kid just just watching his hand just turn into, you know, nothing. And I'm watching it and I'm just like, the fuck just happened? Kid runs out of the shop, disappears. We clean up, close for the day. Luckily, we had an extra showcase in the back we just got rid of. We took the glass off, cleaned up, made sure that there was no evidence that any of this shit just went down, because I think the minute it happened, my mentor was just like, he knew immediately just how bad he'd fucked up, because he was an older guy. I mean, you know, I was 18, 19 years old, and he was already in his late 60s. So, he was already a dinosaur when I was a kid. I know he's not around anymore, but um still back in, the early 90s, this was 93, late 93, maybe December, or maybe early 94. And it still, even back in those early wild days, it still wasn't something you fucking did. And he just disintegrated this kid's hand. Well, sure enough, about 3 days later, the local constabulary comes by and was like, shows us a picture of this kid's fucking what used to be a hand. And what you know about this then? Not a thing. Never seen that kid before in our lives. Is it what, he lives around here? Well, that's news to us. We don't. Yeah, okay. And luckily Linus tattooed about 5 or 6 of the local cops. So, I think they knew it was a bad deal. I'm ashamed to have been a part of it, but it makes for a great story, in my 50s. Still got that hammer too. You want to see it? That's a great hammer. This hammer has been through somebody's hand. Now my wife uses it to put tacks in the wall. She's over there like, yeah, okay. Oh Lordy. Don't put hammers through people's hands, okay? That's bad, okay? All right, let's see. What else we got here? Oh, it looks like it's drying pretty good. See, it dries really good on the plastic here. That's good and dry. But the plastic on the arms, I got a feeling that is going to be an overnight job. Let's see. I feel like I'm forgetting something. Probably on purpose. I need to get. Oh, where is that color marker? I can at least add some red in there. I don't really want to use a Sharpie. But I'm going to do a little bit more on that portrait, just a few more stipple things. I don't like that red. Now I've got a if you want to see an example, hey, lovely assistant, will you bring me the David's Michelangelo's David statue? Just bring me the whole thing. I'll show you guys something. I've been working on this because I think I've pretty much gotten as much done as I can get on him. Gonna let him dry a little bit. I'm sure that I will add some more. I'll probably go in and I've got some Copic markers that do some gray, so I might do a little grayscale on him. But they're over in the cabinet and they're a pain in the ass to get out. So I will work on that this week. I'm still working on I got a couple commission pieces that I'm doing. So I'm going to move this over. We're going to go over here. And I'll show you guys a treat. Oh, so this is Michelangelo's David, as I'm sure a number of people can realize. But yeah, this one's Dave. So I've been tattooing him for a number of years. I've got some stuff that I'm doing. And his back piece, you can kind of see some of the grayscale that we're doing. I need to get some more work done on him, but he is super old. He's got a metal rod that runs up. Actually, if you look on my Facebook page somewhere in there, here, you want to take him? He's ceramic, but he's got some this would be, I think this is going to be a lot bigger than even 1/6 scale. So this would probably be 1/4 scale. Yeah, that'd probably work. You got him? Mm-hmm. Okay. Thank you. Don't drop them. Oh. I don't know we had Twizzlers. Hey, Charles Lee. It's nice to see you, bud. Yeah, that little loincloth's there for a reason. I can confirm he does have penis tattoos. I've probably been working on him for about 5 years, and I need to finish him. In the Mariners Museum, there was 2 statues at Cap Coleman's tattoo shop in Virginia, Norfolk, Virginia, and he did a one of the statues was called the Mariner, and the other was a female statue. He did a bathing suit for them, but they're one of them's in the Mariners Museum out in Norfolk, along with a lot of Cap Coleman's tattoo designs, because he was a tattooer for a lot of Navy folk back in the day, and Norfolk is the best Navy base. I'm a little biased, but yeah, if you're ever out in Virginia, the Mariner Museum is definitely worth checking out. And you can see the statue I'm talking about. And you can Google it too. They're really neat. But Cap Coleman did all these little tattoo designs all over these little statues, and they stood out in his front window the whole time he was there, until he mysteriously washed up in the harbor one night. He used to take. He got tired of people pissing on his front porch of his shop, So he took a capacitor from an old Model T and hooked it up to the metal grate in front of the shop. So if they pissed on his front porch, it was like a pissing on an electric fence. So yeah. Anyway, that so I've got some tattoos on me now. And oh, come on. I hate the focus on these things. Here. Let's do it like this. I'm going to do a little bit more with some grayscale, gray wash, just to kind of bring it out, give a little bit of shadow on some of it. And I don't want to get it carried away, but it's definitely got to dry for it. I'm going to let it dry for at least 24 hours before I try to do anything on this guy. And that's the key to using these multi-liners with anything on any of the plastic. You've got a little bit of a learning curve because you can, if you draw something on one of them with if you draw on one of your figures with a multi-liner, it's if you catch it real quick with an alcohol wipe, that you can, you know, wipe it off and start over. The minute you let it sit for more than just, more than a little bit, it's forever. And that forever may be a smudge because you touched it too early and wiped it across the room. So just if you use it, take your time with it. It's not don't be in a hurry, but they are fantastic. And the great thing about it is a lot of people, like when they do the custom figures, they have trouble getting the eyes and some of the small details and things like that because they suck at using a brush. Multi-liners take care of all that. If you put acrylic paint over your figure to customize it, this works incredible with acrylic paint. Um, I'll, I'll never, I, you're never going to hear me say anything bad about Copic. They make incredible ink and they make incredible markers and pens. So, they are stupid expensive, but it's kind of a one-time investment. If you get one of these multi-liners, you never have to replace it. You can just buy refills for it. You get new tips for them. You can get new ink inserts for them. You never have to buy the pen again. Same thing with the Copic markers. Man, I've got $2,000 in Copic markers over there in a drawer, and I should have brought them out for this. That it would have been perfect. They're alcohol based, so the alcohol usually gets into that plastic pretty well. Um, it'll hold it at least long enough to get a good dry, and then you can, I'm still going to have to seal this with something, probably just a little Krylon, safe for plastic, uh, something. I'll figure out something. And so give it a try if you're especially if you're having trouble doing a lot of small details on your action figures that you're customizing. It looked like I got a big white booger on my mustache. Anyway, that's going to pretty much do it for me tonight. 2 hours. I'm kind of reaching my limit, and I got Twizzlers. So I hope everybody wasn't disappointed that I wasn't in a tattoo shop getting a tattoo. So, but yeah, you know what? Somebody's on YouTube doing that, so look them up. All right, I have got a quote for everybody. I had to look this up because it's one of my favorite lines from Andor, season 1, episode 10. Skarsgård is one of my, it doesn't matter what that guy does, he is one of my favorite actors. So I have a quote from him, and we're going to end the show with that tonight. And I'm going to try to recreate it in my best Skarsgård voice. So, calm, kindness, kinship, love. I've given up all chance at inner peace. I've made my mind a sunless place. I share my dreams with ghosts. I wake up every day to an equation I wrote 15 years ago, from which there's only one conclusion. I'm damned for what I do. My anger, my ego, my unwillingness to yield, my eagerness to fight. They've set me on a path from which there is no escape. I've yearned to be a savior against injustice without contemplating the cost, and by the time I looked down, there was no longer any ground beneath my feet. What is my sacrifice? I'm condemned to use the tools of my enemy to defeat them, to burn my decency for someone else's future, to burn my life to make a sunrise that I know I'll never see. And the ego that started this fight will never have a mirror or an audience or the light of gratitude. So what do I sacrifice? Everything.